I looked before I started video, and today is May the 25th. Tomorrow is Memorial Day, and it's rainy and gloomy. I'm on my way to do a block for Amazon, which I had actually scheduled for early this morning, but that block was, I think that block was starting, I don't know what time it was starting, but it was only $61, and I didn't feel really encouraged to do a $61 block, and so I canceled it. And then scheduled another one that was for $102, and I figured, hey, this is a good deal here. But I thought I set my alarm and fell back asleep, because this was like 2:30 or something like that. Baby, I could have sworn I went in to my clock and turned my alarm on for 4:44, but it didn't go off, and I didn't wake up until like 5:28 or something like that, and I was supposed to be there at 5:45. No way I was gonna make it on time, so I just canceled it and refreshed, and they gave me another opportunity to get another block, so I got another block coming up here at 12:30 for $102. So that's what I'm on my way to do. But, ooh, look, another Amazon driver. He got a truck, though. He not doing it in his car. I just wanted to get on here because I wanted to talk, basically. And I saw this video recently on YouTube where this girl, and I responded to the video, too. About this girl saying how friends can be mean to you and, you know, nasty to you under the guise that, you know, they going through something or some, you know, childhood trauma. Every and any excuse that they could come up with as to why they being mean to you. And yesterday morning when I was heading out on my block, I just wanted to talk on the phone basically about this little guy that claimed he liked me, but for real, he really just wants some pussy. You know what I mean? He just wants some pussy, and I'm not inclined to give away my pussy. You know what I mean? I just, you know, I get horny just like the next person, but I gotta have, like, you know, a little bit of some kind of connection with you to feel like I want to have sex. Not unless you fine. So that's just, let's get that out the way. You know, let's you hitting all the physical cues I like, you know, and so let's just say all the physical cues that I like, those guys don't like me, so I ain't got to worry about impromptu sex with anybody. So at any rate, I just wanted to talk about him and how he, you know, the things that he been doing and saying and everything. So I called her, and this is a girl who has told me about a relationship with a guy that she think is gay. You know what I mean? That she feels like has played her on several occasions, and I, you know, I am just a listener. I will offer up, you know, some supportive advice, or, you know, I try to, you know, interject when I feel appropriate to say something that, you know, that's not just mean or off-putting, but, you know, contributing to the conversation. But I never am mean, you know. And so when I start talking about the guy, girl, she gets, I mean, literally upset about the fact that you like, well, you know what it is, you know what he about. Why do you continue to talk to him? Why do you continue? I mean, just nasty upset about the choices that I'm making. Like, and it's like, you know, when she asked me, I was like, shit, I'm entertaining him because I'm lonely. I wanted to say, bitch, I don't have any friends that I can talk to that will, you know, negate some of the loneliness that I feel. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna entertain some motherfucker who call every now and again and talk a little shit and put a smile on my face sometime because he's silly, and, you know, but for real, I'm not entertaining him in a way where he is getting anything out of it but the fact that he gets to say, you know, how he wants some pussy from me. And normally I don't entertain that for real, but I've been listening to this guy named Orion Turbine on here on YouTube, and you know, he makes a lot of sense. I really believe that he gets that Samuel, what's his name, Kevin Samuels, got a lot of his ideology from Orion Turbine. You know, but Orion is somebody who went to school for psychology, and so he's smart, and you know, and so he's able to articulate things a little bit more palatable for you to swallow. And so I have been listening to him and trying to take, you know, some of his advice, and I don't even think he's really advising me. He's just telling me different things about men that I really had not considered a whole lot. And so I try to make those considerations and be a little bit more open to, you know, getting to know a person that is somewhat interested in me. But I was just so like discouraged and upset after talking with her, because she literally just kind of went off on a tangent about how stupid that I was for entertaining him, and that, you know, why would I keep entertaining him when I already know what he about and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this is just a conversation. Like, why are you getting upset? To me, it just showed how much she don't care for me. You know what I mean? Because I have been listening to her, and she's a Christian. Let me put that out there. And that's what I put on the girl's post that was on her on YouTube, when she was talking about how your friends are mean to you for no reason. I put on her post that I find that the friends that are the mean, nice, nastiest are the Christian friends, because this girl will go on and on and on about Jesus Christ and God and all this kind of stuff, and then turn around and be that nice nasty to somebody that she claimed that she care about, and then was like, well, I you know, I'm gonna call you back. Like, you know, I like, really what she was saying, like, I ain't finna be bothered with your bullshit and some nigga that you shouldn't even be fucking with no damn way. I finna go. Now, last Saturday I called her, and you know, when I was on my way to a route and she was feeling some type of way, I talked to her, I know, probably 5, the whole time I was flexing, the whole time. And she was doing most of the talking, because as long as it's about what she want to talk about, she good. If you started wanting to interject in any type of way, she is done with the conversation. Like, how do people be that mean? The crazy part is that I run into a lot of women like that. And I feel like it's probably reflective of the relationship that I have with my mother. Like, you know, I don't know, somehow my energy gives off, you know, you could treat me like shit and I'm not gonna go anywhere. To women. Because it's not to men. If that was the case, I've been and had a relationship by now. We've already, you know, established that I have been single for 16 years. But I can't even find a good girlfriend in my life that, you know, because sometimes when you going through life and things are happening to you, a good friend can literally, like, carry you through, you know, hard moments. And I've been having hard moments, and in it I will reach out to somebody that I think is a friend of mine or that care about me, and baby, they minimize what I'm going through in a way that feels like, how could you even feel that way? And they're always Christians. They're always Christians. Because I don't have any friends that are non-Christian. I am no longer Christian. I gave up on Christianity when I was about 47. So I'm 57 now. That's about 10 years. I gave up on it because I realized that I was barking up a tree that wasn't helping. And I had been a Christian probably since my early 20s. So it took me, what, close to 30 years to realize that that path was not good for me. So, and I'm sure that it's gonna take me less time to get rid of the people who are like that path. But due to just being lonely and alone, I hang on to people knowing that they're not no good for me. And not just be there for them, supporting them mentally and emotionally, and talking out their issues with them, hashing them out, and giving them good advice, and you know, just listening. Because it's some of them, I hear the same shit all the time, but I don't just bust out of nowhere and say, girl, you told me this shit before, I don't want to hear this shit, I'm gonna call you back. And that's basically what she did. She a mean little motherfucker. Because she didn't call me a Jezebel more than I got fingers and toes. And I really kind of understand the whole Jezebel comment that she made, because she always talking about somebody got a Jezebel spirit. She the one got a Jezebel spirit, because low key, she a hoe. Why she always talking about God and Jesus Christ and how man gotta come correct. And because I had called her about a week or so ago, because the little guy that called himself Want Some Cat, because that's we can't say we talking or nothing like that. Want Some Cat called me with his daughter on a FaceTime. Now this man 56 and his daughter is 6 years old. The last thing I want in my life is a 6-year-old. And I made the comment to her that I didn't think that I liked kids. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to be bothered with them on no level. But you have to keep in mind, I don't have no grandkids. And I haven't dealt with kids for a very long time. So I don't want them like they had about 3 or 4 weeks ago. They had what they was about. Come to bring your kid to work day. Man, I was dreading the shit out that day. I did not want to be bothered with a bunch of kids in the office. They canceled that day, baby, because if they had not canceled that day, baby, I was calling in that day. And I meant that. Because I was not going to be able to pretend for 8 hours that I like kids when I really don't. But I don't dislike kids. I don't want them in my energy. Maybe once I have some grandkids or something like that, maybe my whole, desires will change. But right now I don't want to be bothered with no kids. So I told her that. And she told me I needed to look into that because it was something wrong with me, because I didn't want to be bothered with no kids. And, and I really didn't, because I was on the FaceTime with them. And really, he called me to play with her. And so I'm just on the FaceTime with them like this. Because the little girl is looking at the phone and she's staring me down. You know what I mean? So I'm just on the phone with this plaster smile on my face, trying to act like everything was good. But for real, I was like, in my head thinking like, why the fuck you calling me with your daughter on the phone to play with your daughter? Like, I'm not impressed. But the girlfriend who went off on me yesterday and was acting like I was being too much was saying that, I would love if a man called me with his daughter on the phone, that'll show me what kind of man he is, if he take care of his kids, because I don't like a man that don't take care of their kids, and blase, skip it, weep. So I was just like, well, I'm not impressed. I mean, you should take care of your kids. But also, if you're a 56-year-old man and you got a 6-year-old, that time should be between the time you spend with her should be y'all time. Why would you FaceTime me to play with your daughter? Like, what was that about? And I mean, we was on the phone for probably a half an hour. Well, I literally had nothing to say. Besides, when the little girl would ask me a question, I would try to answer the question, who are you? What you doing? And, and he was literally drunk. This is 2:00 in the afternoon. I was involved in a show that I was really liking on Netflix called Ann with an E. And so really, I just wanted to say, listen, let me talk to you later and finish looking at my show, but I never did. I just let them consume all my time till they was ready to go. And, I know I need to work on that, but, that's the people pleasing that I have, that I need to work on, and the desire to have people in my life. And so, I know that's something I need to work on. So anybody that's watching this video and you saying that, trust me, I know too. But, but she was, telling me how messed up of a person that I am because I feel this way. And it's like, you don't realize how messed up a person that you are because you feel like you can just say whatever mean thing that comes to your mind to somebody. Everything that comes to your mind don't need to be spewed out your mouth. That's something that takes a lot of growth to do. And she just one of those people. But I find it odd that I have a lot of connections like hers in my life that feel like they can say and do whatever they want to do to someone, and it's supposed to be taken as, a loving comment or suggestion, and there's no love involved in it. None. I don't know. I'm almost to my block, and this thing's 17 minutes long, and so I done got what I had on my chest off. And so I'm gonna end the video, but I guess it's just another little vlog for me to look at and learn from. But I know that, I've lost a lot of, because she was one of the relationships that ended at the end of last year. And I'm not real sure how I became talking to her again. But somehow we started talking again, semi-regularly. And she's not a nice person at all. And I know the whole adage about, hurt people, but man, I got to stay. I'm a hurt person, and I do everything in my power not to hurt nobody else. So the whole hurt people is, I think hurt people feel like they have a right. I think that hurt people look for people that they feel are beneath them or less or weaker than them to hurt, because they don't try to hurt people that are stronger than them. They don't try to hurt people that are stronger than them. They try to find people who they instinctively feel like are weaker than them, and then they try to hurt those people. And if you are one of those people, stop. It's that simple. Pay attention to how you treat people. If you don't like somebody, you don't like what they do, you don't like what they talk about, you don't like them at all, then, don't fuck with them. Don't fuck with them. Cut them out of your life. Don't have them in your life so that you can hurt them. It's not a nice thing to do.